Hi, welcome to Acme Balance, brought to you by the Academy of the Golden Gates. I am Yvette, aka the Doctor of the Gods. I want to get on here tonight to talk about relationships. Oftentimes, we're only given one perspective on how relationships supposed to be act out or experienced. And I'm pro awareness, and with me being who I am, I have a different perspective on relationships altogether. In my experience, I've learned that relationships are connections that are meant to provide awareness based off the behavior exchange between one another. And in doing this, gifts are given, meaning evolution takes place if you allow it. Most of the time, when you're not aware and you live in unconsciously, you won't see the opportunity that that situation may bring to you. It becomes a battle of who is right, who is wrong, and who is more dominant. And the real reason why the connection actually happened becomes a mystery and tend to not be uh, given the right outlet or allowing to do what it's supposed to do. We got to understand that we are more than this vessel, and a lot of times these encounters that we have are ordained for pivoting to change your life in a way where you can change your trajectory and you can change where you actually are on your journey of evolution. Within these connections, they can be beautiful. I always look at everything as being a beautiful thing, because most of the time we're not taught that relationships are beautiful. We're taught that they should be cherished, which is true, but you should also have a great relationship with yourself. And let's start there, because if you don't have a great relationship with yourself, how do you know what type of relationship to have with others? If you're not just projecting off you're projecting who you are off onto them, trying to get what you want. We got to understand that we cannot bend other people's wheels and their free wills and their choices based off of what we want. In my experience, I was married for 23 years. There was some good and bad in that marriage, but with me having the awareness that I have now, and I've met myself in places that others may not have, and I understand the connection when it comes to a relationship with yourself, how a connection with someone outside of you will affect your biology, which will affect your identity. It will affect the your consciousness. Really, both consciousness end up intertwining to the point where y'all either have to become one, or you have to figure out what the disconnect really is. It's not going to be to the point where you're going to be at peace, because somebody's going to miss something. Somebody's going not going to get exactly what they need. We are individual consciousness. And that consciousness is expressing through the vessel. But until someone understands that, it's going to be kind of hard for people to understand the dynamic of what a relationship really is and what it entails. So I wanted to get on here to talk today about the importance of relationships and how they can't be fully experienced in a way that's conducive to your growth if you don't have a good relationship with yourself. No, most time when you don't have a good relationship with yourself is a mirror of what's going on inside with you, and those people are not there for you to control. You gotta remember, you can only control you. So even if some things happen in your relationship with that person, you're both supposed to take something from it and then continue to elevate. But most of the time, people are not elevating; they're holding the hurt and the pain of the situation within their heart, which really stunts your growth when it comes to the inner evolution of your journey. It stops you from moving to the next level. It stops you from elevating to a level where your consciousness can grow and you can mature as a being. We have to learn that we can't control anyone. Control has been a driving force, and fear also has been a driving force for our entire species, because that's what we were taught. Even with the indoctrination that we've been given, it was put there for control. But we have to take responsibility that we have to evolve and look at it differently now, because we do have more things accessible to us if you choose to. Choices are amazing. I use my choices to the capacity that I have it. I actually take my time to research and to study everything possibly I can when it comes to the evolutionary parts of evolving within ourselves, and outside of ourselves. How can we do better? How can we show up better? And I know, for me being who I am, and doing the studies I do, and embarking on the journeys I embark on, I understand that it all starts with me. Because even if I'm having an experience with somebody, my perception is going to be different from someone else, because we're both living a human experience based off of what we've met ourselves individually, or what lens we are looking or perceiving the situation through. It's so much more than just showing up, going to work, paying bills, being a spouse, being a husband, a wife, sister, brother, whatever the case may be, having a title, a co-worker. We're so much more. And I feel like that's where the distortion come in at, because a lot of people now wants more, because they want to be led better. They want to see better. They want to understand more about who they are, why they are, and why we actually here. Because when you see everything, you got to understand, we as humans, we ask questions. Some people are afraid to ask questions because they just don't want to know the answer. That's not my case. I want to ask questions to better understand. I love to analyze myself, my life, everything's going on around me. I need to know why. Why is this so? My curiosity is very high. And I feel like that's the part that we're missing. And I feel like we lack that because of what happened to us when we was younger, or the trauma that we're facing or have not let go of. It doesn't allow you to be that child, have that childlike character where you are curious about things and trying to understand things. Everybody is really running around here wanting ownership of their kids, ownership of their spouses, on just ownership of everything that they call theirs. And that within itself is distorted. You own nothing. You don't even own yourself. Even though yourself belong to you, there's a whole nother world in the inside that you're supposed to govern and lead. But because we so focused on the outside, you can't focus on the inside of what's really going on with the psyche, with the consciousness, with the heart and the mind. Why is it disconnected? What is it trying to tell me? People wait so late in the game, and I won't say late in the game, because whenever you decide to take full control of your action, and become more aware of how you are showing up each and every day for you, that's the time that you chose. Even with myself, I looked at, why did it take me so long to leave a marriage that was the worst? And every time that I try to correct or try to find a resolution for the behaviors and the issues in my relationship, it got worse, to the point where I wanted to give up on God. Like, with me being who I am and growing up as a pastor's daughter, and knowing that that was the center of my life, I didn't understand why I had to suffer. And so I had to take my hands off of it and just let it go. I really pretty much, I'm looking at myself in in my inner mind, and it's like I threw my hands up and said enough is enough, and I'm done at this point. I'm gonna focus on me. Is exactly how it turned out for me. But with me doing that, I learned the more that I turned inward and focused on me and who I was and how I showed up in my inner world and in the present, in the physical, I realized that a lot of veils was governing the things that I was seeing in all the relationships that I had, even with the relationship with my job, relationship with my family, with relationship with my kids. There were so many veils that was there that wouldn't allow me to see it because of my expectations, of my desire, because I wanted something that they wasn't capable of giving, but because I only wanted that, I couldn't see what wasn't there. And that was the conflict. Because with having that conflict, it made problems within the relationship, because now you wonder, like, what's really going on and why they acting like that? Because sometimes we make things up in our mind because we want some certain things in certain ways based off our expectations. And I had to learn that I had to stop telling myself stuff and only wanting what I wanted, and actually see it for what it really is, and not the fairy tale that I made up in my mind. Because even though we manifest, we're constantly manifesting. That's not something that you need to be taught. You're constantly doing it because you create your reality based off of your actions and your free will, based off your choices. And with me knowing that and having that new insight and awareness that it's because of me, I had to look at me more. I had to understand more about who I was and what is it that I really wanted and what was I looking for in these relationships. And I had to tell myself, really, I wanted these relationships to fulfill something, fulfill a desire, fulfill a need that I was lacking within. So by me taking full responsibility and becoming aware of who I was and how my action was and my behavior, I learned to reprogram myself to be a healthier self. Because let's be real, we cannot control anyone else, and you cannot control someone to fit the reality that you want them to fit. There can't be a puppet in your reality. They have their own reality, they have their own journey, and then it's okay. It doesn't matter if you had those kids. It does not matter. Doesn't matter if you married to that person. It does not matter. I think that's the problem that people misconstrue when it comes to, and I said that, yep. When it comes to relationships, they tend to look at it as a ownership and not a partnership, which is more conducive to both of your growth, because partners you are allowed to do what you want to do, and we come together when we come together in a equal agreement and respect. Those relationships are very rare, and when you find them, you hold on to them. I'm blessed to have several women in my life that are amazing, and throughout this whole process, they didn't judge me about anything. They know I would go missing for months and not answer phone calls or have conversation or text because I'm really focused on me. Now I'm learning to do better because I don't want their nervous system to have to worry about me, because they do love me. So I try to make sure I text or call and let them know this just happened in December. I told them, I said, I would do better. And if I decide to go on a mission where I am MIA for a while, I will go ahead and let you know that I'm going to be off the grid. They know I will go off the grid. That's what I was looking for. I go off the grid and I will just focus on me, myself, and the ones that need to get in, which is my kids. I really leave myself open for my kids. Them the only ones to get to me. My ex can't even get to me. And it ain't about me going MIA. It's just I have certain people. I respect my boundaries, and there's certain people that cannot get to me because I don't allow them to. They don't respect my boundaries. So with that being said, you have to learn that your boundaries are amazing, and you are worthy of having a healthy relationship with yourself and with others. Because even with our energy fields and your nervous system, I don't think people understand how important your nervous system really is. That's where all the anxiety and all of the off balance things sit, and attached to the emotions, to the heart. And if you are always on fight or flight, you constantly don't trust anyone. You don't trust yourself, because it's actually a great tool to use within your being. But because we've been taught to use it distortedly, it causes more fear and anxiety and more harm than good. And sometimes when you have anxiety, it's just the system is really overriding and trying to recalibrate. But that's another video, another podcast, another day. But you have to learn how the body actually works and how you work to understand the relationship of yourself and others, because the relationships are great and they bring in amazing internal gifts and blessings externally if you receive the information you need to receive, or the lessons that, and I don't like to call them lessons, but sometimes these things are showing you how to love yourself properly, how to see the patterns that you may have that's unhealthy for you, and how you can change that in that moment. Great relationships are great tools to grow, but I feel like we've been using it in a way that's just conducive to oneself, and it's one-sided. It's not a equal side type of commitment or partnership. But I wanted to give that insight because relationships are very important. But the most of all, your relationship with yourself is the most important, because you can't really understand what a relationship entails until you have a better relationship with yourself. And that within itself teaches you how to move forward in your life, because now you understand that you are important, and you're just not this vessel that's getting up every morning, that has responsibilities, that's bathing, showering, brushing their teeth, and just making sure you're doing the maintenance that's required based off what the world tell you. You're more than that, because it's more maintenance than just that little baseline. You got a maintenance that goes with the mind. You have a maintenance that goes with the heart. You got a maintenance go with the body. The body, the mind, and the soul, and the heart, they all talk. When the internal is not balanced and it's full of things that needs to be purged and released and detox, it shows up in your outer world, meaning your weight, meaning your skin, meaning your teeth. It shows up. It gives you signs first. Disease starts within, and then it manifests outside. So this video, this podcast, because I'm recording, those that knows, I also put the video on YouTube. Understand that you have beacons that you have to learn to listen to when it comes to who you are, to help you stay balanced and help you stay harmonized. I'll put more videos out about that, because people don't really listen to themselves. They're so used to going to the doctor. Let me go get a checkup. You really can do your own checkup. You'll know it. If I got something going on in my body, it shows up in my face. If I got something going on in my body, it shows up in my gut. It shows up. We also have chakras that has to be purged. There's so much in the inner world that needs to be a part of, needs to be awareness of when it comes to who you are, so you could take better care of it, and for you to move forward in your growth and your inner evolutionary journey and outside. So I hope this helps. I am looking to drop a couple more things. Later today or tomorrow, I will have a free guide for consciousness. So look for that. It should be in my link in my bio. And those of you that are listening to this on podcast, you can go to the Academy of the Gods on YouTube, on TikTok, on all platforms. It's the Academy of Gods. Or you can find me at the Doctor of the Gods on all platforms, and you should see the link inside of my bio through my link tree, and it'll take you straight to my website, and you can download the free document PDF for consciousness, and it'll just give you a little free little walkthrough of what consciousness really is and what you need to look for. I hope this helps, sweetie. Until next time, I'm sending you love and light.